And we're back. What's up, everybody? Benja Welldone coming at you live on this beautiful Corona-free day. Today is Friday, September the 30th at 3:35 in the afternoon. How are you doing? So, time travel. Here's the thing. You know, I heard somebody talk the other day, and this guy is the world's greatest at what he does. And he had an interesting little conversation. And there was like a news reporter, and they were asking him if he could do anything different, what would he do? He said, well, I would start earlier. Now, I'm a super deep thinker. And as I was listening to that, I was thinking to myself, what if he did start earlier? This is what I came up with. All right. You know, time, just like a physical measurement, right? Like inches and meters and yards and feet and whatever, miles, so forth and so on. Time, there is a measurement for that as well, a timeline, right? And if this guy started earlier, and I'm going on a rant, so just stay with me. If this guy would have started earlier, two years earlier, okay, then that means that wherever he was, he had that ignition switch in his body to say, you know what, forget this, I'm going to be the world's best from now on. I don't really think that all the reoccurring events leading up to that would have lined up so he'd be at that exact place at that exact time. I truly believe that it's all of the negatives and the positives and everything all wrapped together at once that on that timeline brings you to exactly where you should or would be to create that spark. You know what I'm saying? That spark, that ignition inside you that says, you know what? I'm not going to be number 2 anymore. I'm going to be number 1. And that's what it's going to take. I think it's very narrow-minded to think in the perspective that if, like, once you know your world's best, of course, automatically, that you would want to start earlier. But I think it's more feasible to say, I want to have 2 more years added on to my career. Now, everybody would want to say, I wish I could go back and this and that. Maybe not everybody, but just stick with me. Anytime you go back in time, okay, by altering one thing, all right, maybe he does go back in time. Let's just say time travel existed right now. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm not saying it won't, okay? But I'm just saying, let's just say that guy goes back in time, okay? And he starts his profession 2 years earlier than what he did. Whatever emotional or insight or the life lessons or the teachers or whoever, all these events that had happened leading up to that moment, okay, wouldn't ever happened. And it would be more impressive if this guy still became the world's best. But this guy didn't become the world's best because he's so great at what he does. He had teachers and influences and all sorts of people that may not have been there if he would have started 2 years earlier. Maybe he could have gone in a different path. Maybe he could have had some bad direction or just said, forget this is stupid. If this guy didn't have success early in his career, maybe he would have even less success earlier in his career. But I truly believe that it takes all these forces coming together all at once to make that unique moment, to have somebody say, today is the day where I'm going to be the best in the world. I'm a big believer in that. And the ironic part is that instead of, since as of right now, okay, time machines don't exist, by thinking, the ironic part is this, by thinking about time travel and going back in time, the things that you would be doing, ironically enough, this is the craziest thing, you're actually wasting time in that process instead of using that time to become the better, best version of what you already are today. That's true, man. It speaks volumes. Think about it. Instead of dwelling on what you could have done, okay, which is not productive, you can start acting on what you can do. I'm not trying to be like all philosophical and everything, you know? But this guy just said one thing, and it was a passive conversation, and I wasn't even paying attention to it. And then like an echo, it kept just sort of beeping off. And I kept thinking about it, and that was the conclusion that I came to. So, maybe you agree with me, maybe not, but I think it's pretty insightful to think that no matter where you are in your life, the best moment to change something is right now. Because if you've had that revolutionary ignition inside you to light your passion, your drive, your energy, your everything, Every moment leading up to that is part of what got you there. And now it's your opportunity to be the world's best. My world's best. The world's best, right? Yeah, man. It's interesting. It's really interesting if you think about it. Because even though you'd be going back in time, like I said, the best version could be and would be here right now all along. You know? It really is. It's fascinating thinking about it. Thinking about the things, even in this current timeline, by changing them, can have an impact on actually making you worse, canceling out your whole goal. You think going back and, again, now with the perspective of time now and taking it then, you would literally have to tell yourself that you're already the world's best and just stick with it. But if you already know your world's best, that has an impact in the past. And that earlier version of you would be saying, oh, okay, well, I'm just not going to try that hard. Maybe try too hard. Maybe you don't try enough. You see what I'm saying? Instead of dwelling on what could have been or the past, that's an ironic thought to have, because you're wasting time and the conversation and the thoughts of time travel when you could be using that exact material of time to becoming better today. So, just a little thought experiment. I thought I'd get that out. Everybody, my rants are all over the place, and as always, you are driving with Benja. I'm Benja Welldone. Check me out. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you at a comedy venue near you soon. Peace.